What's going on, guys? My name is RagingRaptor and I welcome you to not my first game in the TL-1 LPC, because I can already tell you it right now. I'm not going to buy it as it is, because I am honestly not willing to pay 40 euros for things I do not want. I want the tank, but I'm not willing to pay up to 15 euros for garbage and trash I personally think is just not appropriate or I don't need. And yeah, that is why I want today to talk about why I think this whole thing about the TL-1 LPC is crap. And I also want to give you a little bit of feedback about the tank. So I probably can kind of think about how the tank will be, because it is probably very similar to the 59 pattern, as I already saw from the stats wise. And I will give you my personal rundown on the tank. But first things first, let's talk about the camouflage. And I know that there we have a wide variety of different people thinking. And one thing I just want to point out, this is my personal opinion. I genuinely dislike the looks of this. It just, in my personal opinion, looks like garbage. There is no point for this to be in the game, in my opinion. By the way, I'm showing it you with this because Wargaming is very, very kind to their community contributors and other people like me, which want to do videos. I'm not a community contributor, hence why I don't have the tank. I basically have to talk constantly right now because Wargaming thought it was a great idea for this tank to have its own soundtrack in the back. Just the problem is most likely that this soundtrack already is copyrighted, meaning that I'll get a butt fuck because YouTube is like, oh, you used copyrighted music in your video and you will get demonetized. Well, that is some marketing strategy for the offsprings. Hell yeah. Anyway, keep on talking, Raging, because otherwise it won't work. For me personally, this is a garbage looking skin because it does not have anything to do with World of Tanks anymore. This is what I personally call a clown car. Not that the EBRs, they can be very clownish, but this, in my opinion, just looks clown-like. Seriously, why is this in the game? It's the same thing you could ask yourself about the Type 95 Gold. And I understand that also some people might ask, but Raging, what about the Primo Victoria? My point is, the Primo Victoria is not so obscenely stupid and out of place. Yes, you could argue that this looks out of place. You can also argue that the camouflage looks out of place. And you can argue that those things in the back look out of place. But in the end, it still looks like a real tank, which in my opinion could go to war. It could look like a little bit of a show-off tank, but that's about it. Let's talk about the Lance and See. This tank, I understand, and again, this is very, 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 very opinionated. I think it looks still rather decent-ish because it still has tank characteristics and it could look like how a Swedish crew would go full out and customize their tank. I still think that this muzzle brake would be a little bit too over the top, but other than that, I can see things Swedish people or Swedish tankers in that sense would make as fun a tank like this. But let's be honest, this just looks very, 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 very out of place in my personal view, because yeah, skateboards are so hip. A whole drum kit where the whole other by the way, let's talk about Sabaton has 5 band members or 5 crews, so they put all their things in the back tray, while meanwhile Big Dick Offspring has to just put their thing there. Then this looks incredibly stupid and out of place in my opinion. This should be a light or an infrared light most likely, or a target search light, and not a goddamn box for making music. Yeah, in general, just the style is just garbage. I know you can put it off, but then again, I'm not willing to pay an additional 10 euros to just have such a garbage style. I don't want to. And this is where this whole package already blows up. 40 euros or 39.99 is just too much for what you get. Seriously, a tier 8 medium is probably around between 25 euros to 30 euros. But not 40. 40 is just way too over the top. And I understand that this has a zero skill BR crew, yes. But then again, the Primo Victoria costed 34 euros, didn't have a special super 3D skin, and had one crew member more, and well, you have 0 skill beer. So you are €6 less and have effectively more, which suits most people. Because then again, I don't see why I want to have premium account. I already have enough. I don't need it in a stupid package. I don't need this super exciting medal over here. And I definitely do not need this pretty fly looking skin. Well, what else do you get? Well, apparently you get 4 times the same track to just listen to. By the way, doesn't it really get boring? Personally, I listen a lot to Muse lately, and I love, for example, Supremacy, but I couldn't like listen to it 24/7. So yeah, I think that is also kind of over the top and not really the best idea. The exclusive custom voiceover, this is a need for the people, for the offspring probably, also good for their wallets. But yeah. By the way, Wargaming, when exactly do we get custom voiceovers for custom commanders, for example? I'm pretty sure that a lot of people out there would be willing to pay €5 to have a Quickie Baby commander, for example, which comes with 0 skill Bia, or or Death Games commander, or the Mighty Jingles commander. By the way, he's already in World of Warships, and he actually has voice lines there. So why exactly do we get a band which is super specific when we could have World of Tanks community contributors? Like, they could also gain a little bit out of it, and I wouldn't mind, because then again, they are very associated with the game. Somebody should explain to me sometimes. Anyway, I babbled way too long about this stupidity already. Let's talk about the tank. Again, I'm going to use this over here because when I go in the game and look at the tank, we will hear the stupid music and I'm scared I will get demonetized. God damn it. Anyway, the 2 redeeming features of this tank is 280 alpha, which is something rather unique for tier 8 mediums, and the 280 millimeters of heat pin, which is, in my opinion, a little bit too much if you compare it to other tanks. For example, the 59 Patton is rather equal to the stats wise, and I personally love this 59 Patton, as you might see from gun marks, percentage, most likely also how many games I played in it. I genuinely enjoy the 59 Patton, excuse me when I said it wrong, still German thinking in my head. But he only gets 250, which is compared to low. But then again, you compare it to other tanks and it's actually high. So, okay, wait, this is the stock gun. That would be unfair to use a stock gun. We would need to take this one, which has 275. But then again, it's a little bit big. Like, the heat penetration is very, very high. Something I personally didn't expect it to see on tier 8 again. I might actually even argue it might be a little bit too broken. It might be even OP. But yeah, you get 1,400 hit points and a decent speed of 50 plus and 20 backwards. The firepower in general, the standard pen is not too bad. Could you stop doing this? And the DPM is actually pretty decent. It is slightly worse than what you have on the 59 Patton, but it's not a big deal. The big deal is, however, if you like low caliber guns or low alpha guns. And do you like that if you miss, it's not that bad? Because I like that. This is why I wanted a Leopard 1 with a fast-firing gun. So if you miss a shot, it doesn't matter because in the next 5 seconds you have another shot. This is like what I wanted from a sniper, personally. But, well, again, this is totally, again, opinionated. I like low-caliber, high DPM guns and fast-firing guns because then again, if I miss a shot, it's not that bad. And so with this tank, it might be a little bit of a deal breaker because you have a lot longer reload time than what you would have on the 59 Patton. But again, this is totally up to you. 280 alpha is still quite a big house number. And yeah, especially as the aim time is equal, the accuracy is minimal different. And you even have better gun accuracy on the turret traverse. Not on the move, but turret traverse. That is pretty significant, 0.02. Plus, you get better mobility, a lot better HP to tone ratio. You even are better on soft grounds, but not that much on medium grounds. You have a slower turret traverse, but that's neglectable. neglectable. You have the same view range and you have a worse hull. But the turret is actually a lot stronger. Not only is your gun shield 177 millimeters all around, you also have a much smaller cupola, as you can see. This is like a deal breaker for a lot of people, which is understandable. The 59 patent, the cupola, you have to be very thoughtful of how to peak because this cupola is ridiculous. But here we don't have it anymore. The only difference, however, is that the upper front plate of the 59 patent is much thicker at 100 millimeters against the 88.9 millimeters. Yes, the angle is better by 4 degrees and they have roughly the same armor, but then again, as soon as you're standing above the TL-1 LPC, you will have it much easier to penetrate than the 59 patent. And the lower plate is 100 millimeter on the 59 patent at a 54 degree angle, and here it is at a 45 degree angle, also 100 millimeters. So once again, whole armor wise, yeah, this tank, the TL-1 LPC, is not going to get anything out of the 59 patent. But turret wise, definitely turret wise, it will be much better, and this is where this tank will excel at being hull down. So yeah, that's good. Again, it's a shame. I would have loved to play this tank, but I'm not willing to pay. Excuse me, I'm just simply not going to pay 15 euros extra for stupid garbage I genuinely don't want. I'm not a fan of Offspring. I rarely listen to them, so the whole skin is useless to me. Listening to, like, the voiceovers are okay. I don't mind that. It's neat to have something different. But an additional 7 days of premium, who the hell cares? Seriously, who the hell? And a medal, why? Again, who the hell cares? And lastly, one of the arguments the German community manager gave me is, but well, Raging, it has the great crew layout and a great crew for the 59 patent. Well, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. But then again, dude, I know, first of all, you work for Wargaming and you want to sell this tank. Go figure, most likely. But then again, I already have a 59 M48 patent crew, so I don't give a shit. Why should I have a new crew now? If I want to have a Series Scale BR crew for the Americans, I will probably buy the Thunderball when it's on sale, because it's cheaper, much cheaper. It has 5 crew members and it also has Series Scale BR. Sorry, but that's how it is. And if I'm not mistaken, this tank over here has 5 crew members. Oh well, wow. Fucking amazing. You get a premium tank which has, you get a crew even with 4 crew members, but it will be useless for the M48 patent, which is part to go to the M48 patent. The M46 patent, well, you can't use your crew. Oh, look at that. The Pershing has the same problem. Let's hope the T20 is not the same. Oof, tough luck. Yeah, there the total... Seriously, there your selling argument that it has such a good crew for the M48 patent just falls apart. Because, yeah, but for the whole line it's useless. Seriously. Excuse me, that was a lot of RAM. That was a RagingRaptor right there. Thank you so much for watching. By the way, for people which I don't know, I had yesterday birthday. So yeah, that was kind of fun-ish. Except I had to work, and work is abysmal. And I hate to work while also study, because you basically are too tired to do any studying when you do work. So, yeah. Well, luckily I have tomorrow work again. I can probably go to cut some more aluminum for 8 fucking hours. On to the next video.